Hello and welcome to Stan's 360 World. I'm your host, Stan Riza. Don't know if it's recording here. I think it is. But we're here with Rich Santoro, the bulb guy, in his bulb garden. It is late March and the garden's in bloom early this year. So
2 weeks early.
2 weeks
Two
early.
weeks early, Stan. Normally I'm last week of March, first week of April, we'll have the 9-day bulb guy garden show.
Yeah.
We are here in the right corner where the unknown bulb guy is resting. Rest in peace. Here lies the unknown bulb guy fan, bored to death by one too many bulb guy stories. So you've been warned, Stan. You've been warned.
Rich has got a lot of great stories.
Yeah, I've disclosed it, so I'm letting you know. Oh, why don't we start over here, Stan?
All right, let's start over here.
These two cuties. Oh my God! This is Amara. This is Amara and Izzy, and they live around the block. And Amara and Izzy came around 2 years ago on a Saturday. Sunday, they came back, and they came back with this piece of art. And this is so special to me because they gave me this. Hair. This is okay, but this.
Cape and all, I love it.
Oh, yes, they are so cute. And they come back. They came back last year, and hopefully they'll come back this year. I got a little gift for them. They're so sweet. That's Amara and Izzy.
So how did you get started?
Yes, getting started. Got started 1985. My sister-in-law, Carmen Philiselda, around the block. She was putting around in front. And we were driving by, me and Riza, and kind of stopped, said, "Hey, Carmen, what are you doing?" She said, "Oh, I'm bulb gardening." I thought it was very difficult. I didn't know. And so I asked her, I said, "Is that difficult? You got to have special fertilizers. You got to be English, something like that." She said, "Oh, yes, very, very difficult. Let me show you." So I got out of the car, and Carmen got up to the window, and she got her shovel, and she says, "Watch carefully." Gets the bulb from her apron, throws it in a hole, covers it up. Done. I can do this. Stan, I can do this. So Reese and I literally went to, I think we went to Orchard, got 50 daffodils, and we put them in the middle of our lawn. And that was the first year. And then after that, the imagination started going wild. And we kind of had them all over, and there was no rhyme or reason to them. So in 2008, I converted the entire backyard to what you see now is a little bit of a more mature bulb garden. Hans from Longfield Garden, New Jersey, who provides all the bulbs to Costco, was here last year. And he had sent me 300 bulbs to test garden in this garden to see if they work in Northern California, which they did. And while he was here, he told me, "Rich, you have the largest private bulb garden in the United States, hands down." He said, "I've never seen anything like it. I've got pictures of all of them from here to Kingdom Come." And so that's really cool. Cool to know. And I figure if he says that, and if there's a bigger one, trust me, someone will come up and say, "No, I got a bigger one." So we haven't heard anybody from any since. So
now, I know it's across the garden over here, but he also told you had something special.
Oh, yes. Walk this way. Literally.
Here we go.
But I looked out the back door.
Yes. Stan, thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. Now, what we have here below, and I have to share this with you first, these are ranunculus grown by seed. Now, these seeds came from those ranunculus under the big window. So those are mature ranunculus, and these seeds came from them. These will flower in 1 year, opposed to a tulip. A lot of people don't know that a tulip can be grown by seed. The only problem is it takes 7 years to get a flower. This is year 5 of the seeds that I've been able to keep alive. And I started out with thousands of seeds. Over the 5-year period, I'm down to 3. When Hans from Longfield Garden saw this, he says, "Rich, do you know what you have here?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm growing a tulip by seed." He says, No. He says, "This is the bulb guy bulb." He says, "If you get one of these guys to flower, it's like a kid, just like a kid." He says, "It's its own tulip, it'll be its own unique color, etc., etc." He says, "You gotta take care of this, Stan."
It's your babies.
These are my babies. And that's interesting. The way I found out about the seeds, I'd been bulb gardening for 22 years, and what I was doing is probably what everybody else does. When they get ugly, I'd cut off, the ugly foliage. Of course, what I'm doing, I'd be cutting off the pod. Now, this is where the seed matures, right there. That'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. There's 3 chambers in there, and there are like 3 decks of cards, and they're like oatmeal chips. and this will get bigger and bigger, explode, falls on the dirt. You put them in about an inch of dirt, and they'll start growing the next year, and they're literally like a little blade of grass. I thought they were weeds.
Whoops.
So you know what I was doing. Okay, so then, when I saw that, what happened was, I think it was the next year, I was pulling out the weeds, and the bottom of one of the weeds caught my eye, and I saw, oh my God, that's a baby bulb. So I ran in the house. I told Riza, I'm a daddy. I'm a bulb daddy. So at that point is when we threw them in, got them in an area, put them in the ground, and so far we got these 3 guys. And hopefully in 2 years you'll be back here, and I'll be showing you a flower. That's my hope. That's the story.
So now that's not the only surprising bulb in the yard.
No. We have the baddest bulb of all. Yes.
The baddest bulb of all.
This is the baddest bulb of all, right here. This is Frances. Now. Frances was my mom, and I was taking care of my mom, and I went over there and fixed doors and fixed that, and there was a bulb in the foyer there. It was burnt out, so I took it out, took it to my mom, and it had about 1/16 of an inch of crud, maybe more. I said, Mom, when did the bulb burn out? And she says, oh, about 6 months ago. And then I said, well, when did you replace it last? She said, well, I've never replaced it. I mean, like, since you moved in? Yeah. Well, she moved in. I don't know if you can see it. It's 1963.
1963.
It's at 2012. It's 49 and a half years it worked. Stan, the company that makes these bulbs, out of business.
Yeah. Tends to happen when you can't sell replacements, I guess, right?
Yeah, one bulb, that's it. Yeah.
Now there's also one back here.
Oh my goodness!
Let's talk about Conrad.
One of the greatest stories of all. Actually, the greatest bulb guy story is actually on my website, and it's a dedication to Bob and Ann Marsh, and they were married 70 years, and they dedicated a clip, and it shows the garden in its entirety. Beautiful, and it's to the music All About You. Gorgeous. So if you get a chance, people out there,
Bulb Guy.
yeah,
There's a hyphen in there. It's in the links down below.
the-bulbguy.com. Yeah, you'll love it. Now this is Conrad the boy, the little boy. If I can get that, and that's Conrad the tulip. Look how big that. Look at the size of that tulip. It's gorgeous. Now what had happened was if you want to do that, yeah.
I'll bring it closer
Sure,
while
bring
he
it closer.
talks.
Sure. 2008 is when I converted the whole yard to what you see today. And I put like a black mesh, 6 inches of pea gravel, and somehow this renegade bulb broke through the mesh, broke through the pea gravel, came up, and I was in the middle of construction, so I really didn't pay attention, and I really stepped all over it, to be honest with you, until it was completely smashed up. Well, the next year it came through again, and I thought, wow, tenacious little bulb. So I kind of parted the way, gave it a chance. It came up, it had foliage, no flower, and for 3 years it was foliage, no flower, foliage, no flower. 4th year, it had foliage, stem, and a bud, just a huge, a huge bud, the biggest bud I've ever seen in my life. I'm very excited. In the meantime, I gave a class to Kennedy Elementary School in San Jose, 30 kids, 3rd graders, and we put a bulb garden in their garden, and I invited them to come in April, come see a mature garden, see what it looks like. I was all excited. So the kids came. Betsy, who was their teacher, brought them. The first thing I do is I walk them over here and show them my most precious tulip and explain to the kids, okay kids, this is my most precious tulip, be careful, blah, 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 blah. Conrad, 9 years old. Mr. Santoro. Does he got a name? Yeah, George. Mr. Santoro. 10 questions later, very intelligent, very sharp. I mean, I loved it. He did exactly what I want kids to do, ask questions.
Right.
Okay, kids, be careful. And they brought their lunch, they had lunch, they went for a little hike, came back. About 5 minutes later, I gotta be careful with Conrad here. 5 minutes later, Conrad walks up to me, and all the kids are behind him, and he's despondent. Oh, he's all broken up. Mr. Santoro. And he opens his hand, and I looked. First thought he had a dead bird. So somebody killed George. And one of my guests had walked through here and snapped the head right off. Just sent it sailing. Conrad saw it and, picked it up, brought it to me. I told Conrad, I said, Conrad, I tell you what, if you come back next year, George is going to be back. I guarantee it. He will be back. Okay, Mr. Santoro, and he was all broken up. And all the kids were like, yeah, somebody killed George. They want to string up this guy. And so the bulb breaks ground usually like third week of January. So around 3rd week of January, I was, let's go, George. Let's go. Got a commitment here. And he broke ground.
Got an audience.
Yeah, we got an audience. Yeah, we got a big audience. And so I call up his teacher, Mrs. Vu. Mrs. Vu, George came back. I renamed him Conrad. He's got a guard turtle and a guard frog. Bring the kids back. So the day that they came, this is the day. And that is what Conrad looked like. Now, Conrad has siblings in there in the middle there. He's got actually 4 siblings. There's, let me see now, we've got Conrad, Chuck, Chris, Connie, and Toby. I just threw Toby in there, just break it up. He's got 5 siblings in there. And he's in his like 3rd iteration. So he will,
We're recording.
so he will, he'll
We're
probably,
recording.
so he will flower next year. I'm all choked up.
Well, we only have a few minutes left on the recording. The Bulb Guy Creed. It's on your cape here. You push the button. See,
Ready?
we'll get it in there close.
The bulb guy creed. 1, dig hole for bulb. 2, drop bulb and hole. 3, cover bulb with dirt. 4, water bulb and hole. 5, step away from the bulb. Dig it?
So that's for the hearing impaired and for the hearing impaired.
So, just in case it didn't come out very well, the Bulb Guy Creed is dig a hole for the bulb, drop the bulb in the hole, cover the bulb with dirt, water the bulb in the hole, and
Step away from the bulb. Take it. See, to me, it's the hebel guy no offer creed. Anyway,
it's upside down.
yeah, I gotta rearrange that.
So next year, if they want to come and visit, you know,
Go to my website, probably. I think if you just Google the bulb guy,
well, it'll be
website-
in the links down below.
Oh, yeah,
So you
yeah.
click
yeah.
the link.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's usually late March.
Yeah, normally speaking, it's actually the last week of March into the first week of April, but this year it's really early because we've got so much, excuse me, so much rain. That's normal. We're abnormal this year.
Yeah.
Young Frankenstein. Sorry.
And lastly, if somebody wants to donate,
Oh, yes.
down in the links, this will be down there.
Yes, a rainbow for Boom.
Yes.
And this money is going directly to, excuse me, to Saint Jude Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. And we're raising money for childhood cancers, trying to stamp them out. Most particular is Neuralblastoma, which is a cancer that took away my son's life in 1982. And that's what we're doing. Yeah, and we're giving the garden a purpose. It's obviously it's a great purpose.
It's a GoFundMe page. None of the money goes to
No.
the garden here or to you or anything.
No.
It all goes to St. Jude. So great thing to donate to. Just
Yes.
click the link below and we'll get that on there. Riza's got a rainbow up in the front. Check out some of the other videos and pictures. You'll see those.
Yes.
But
Donate money, we cut out a tulip and put your name on the garage.
sounds good. Well, thanks so much for your time, Rich.
Thank
It
you.
was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Keep watching the videos. Click like below, subscribe, the whole thing. You know the skit. And hopefully next year you'll come out here while you're out exploring your world. Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you.